Well, howdy there, pipe pals. Holy Smoking Pipe Padre here with you. On this penultimate day in November. Trust you're having a great Thanksgiving weekend, I guess. Okay, so here I am trying to get in my November, a day in November video to you. Now, today is kind of interesting because I've got a backdrop here that, is actually the real deal. It's not a green screened background. This is my new environs, again, here in Lake Tahoe, Tahoe City to be exact. And hold on a second here. I'm going to get, there we go. Oh, I didn't mess anything up here. Got my Joby here, my little best friend, my little lifelong companion that I've had for years. And so, and I've got my Cabela shirt here that I got a couple weeks ago. And as you can probably plainly see from my background, my real life background, it is a very snowy, wintry day here in November. So I'm sitting here with a nice pipe, perfect pipe smoking weather. I should actually be making the video outside. I wanted to do that, but I'm losing the light. So maybe next time, who knows, maybe next, the day in December video will be more of an outdoor video. I'm still learning. How to, I didn't bring that with me. I'm still learning how to kind of negotiate living actually in a winter climate, a true winter climate. For years, I've kind of romanticized about actually living here in the northern regions in a more of an alpine kind of a community, geography. And well, here it is. Some things have surprised me. I'll just share with you just a little bit of video footage that I took just today of icicles, just simply looking at icicles and how beautiful they are. Now they look pretty lethal, and I don't know if people have actually been killed by icicles. I'm sure people have been injured by them. I'd be surprised if they weren't. But there is quite an ethereal beauty to icicles. Hold on a second. I'm still smoking that. I think it's a pina colada tropical blend from Tinderbox that I got, when I first got here about 4 months ago. And it's probably been about my, excuse me, my first pipe I've had since the last video I made. So anyway, one of the things that I have been kind of intrigued by, wow, and I'm seeing it even more and more and more, I call it the shark tooth effect of icicles. And I think I'll roll that video now. And so, a lot of times we just think of icicles just kind of hanging straight down. And for the most part they do. But I think I understand now why you get that shark tooth effect where where the icicles kind of look like they're bending back on themselves, kind of like, again, like a shark's teeth. And I guess it's because the overhang is melting ever so slowly, and it's twisting as it's coming off the eave. It begins to curl a bit. So I think that's how what I call affectionately this new phenomenon I've discovered, the shark mouth or the shark teeth icicles. Kind of interesting, a little bit threatening looking too. But anyway, so here I am up here in the hinterland. In my first full winter here, and it just started. As you can see, by the background, it's quite lovely, quite beautiful. It's a kind of an early evening, late afternoon, early evening, and so I thought I'd make a video for you. Make my November video, kind of, don't want to say get it out of the way, but I kept thinking, I wanted to make it, I was actually going to make it a lot earlier. In fact, after my October video, I said, you know what? Let's get that November video done within the first week of November, and then you're good to go. What I'm trying to do, and I do this I try to do something once a year. Every year I try to say, okay, for 1 year I'm going to do this one thing. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to at least try to be consistent. And what's the one thing? Well, it's 1 year. I think I walked every day for a year. 1 year let's see, I guess I got rid of sugar for 1 year. Need to do that one again. Let's see, 1 year, gave up fast food. Need to do that one again. 1 year, I think I didn't give up the internet, but anyway, so every year I try to find something that I can do for a year, And so I think last year, as I was kind of recalling my sporadic videos, I said, well, I think I might have gone maybe even a couple months without making one. And I felt like, well, I probably need to just do something for, make a commitment, say I'll make a video a month. I know I can do that. I can do that. So, and sure enough, hopefully if I make it next month, I'll make my December video, and hopefully then I will complete that. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop making videos or I'm only going to make videos once a month. I'm hoping that once I finally get truly settled in and I kind of know the ropes here, like for example, there's a lot of winterization things that have to go on, and I'm still learning all those. Shoveling snow, putting down ice melt. Those are just little daily things you got to do. Learning how to drive in the snow. Sometimes I just elect not to drive, And yesterday I drove 3.5, 4 hours one way to visit some friends in Fairfield, which is down the hill. But there was a lot of people coming up here for the snow. We've been really blessed in the last couple of days because, here it is Thanksgiving weekend. And, this is if there's snow. Now the snow ski areas, they have the artificial snow, and they've been pumping that out for the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's not the greatest, I've been told. You don't want to use your really good skis on artificial snow. But for them to have this amount of snow this weekend is just a great gift. I mean, talk about, hopefully those people were really thankful this year. I'm sure they are. So, again, gratitude as far as being grateful for things that that have they can be kind of a mixed blessing, okay? So, again, we got a lot of snow starting, was it Tuesday? Tuesday afternoon, about 2 o'clock. And it has been continuously snowing off and on for the last 3 days. So, as you can probably see by my video in the background, there's a lot of snow out there. Great for skiing, and it's good powdery snow. It's that beautiful, light, airy snow. It's not, Sierra concrete, as they call it, from some of the people that have lived here. So I guess that's coming in the later months of winter. So anyway, but I was thinking about something, and I'll maybe just share this little thought on my video today. I know a lot of you do live in colder climates. I had somebody say to me once, "Well, why do you want to go live in the snow?" Really good question now. And so, one of the things that I started thinking about just this morning, a lot of times people, when they think of winter and Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm kind of doing my Northwest pipe smoker impersonation here. I just find out that, it's a lot easier, probably, just to keep the old pipe in the old mouth and, breathe with it and let it keep going instead of having to keep relighting it all the time. But, as I was looking at the icicles this morning, I saw, they're awfully beautiful. I mean, they really, truly are. The way the light hits them and the way they form and the way they, again, they're different construction, their composition, I guess. Some of them will look like the traditional icicles that we think about. And some of them look like almost like a sheet of glass. And then some of them look like these shark teeth that are, coming down. But, so I was thinking about it, and I said, and it's interesting how we, in our world, in our society, we kind of want to, we see the beauty in these things, and they are indeed very beautiful, and we kind of imitate them. We make artificial versions of these things. And then in our hearts, we kind of long for, not just the picturesque beauty of the winter scenes of the icicles and the snow and the boughs of the trees filled, laden with snow like they are here. Just, it's all beautiful. It absolutely takes your breath away. But, again, in the real raw nature, you can see the beauty, but part of that beauty kind of has its rootedness in something a little more dark and sinister. I mean, it is true that as beautiful as the outside is, and as beautiful as the icicles are, and as beautiful as the snow-laden trees are, it's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. You make, just the simple act of walking. Those of you who live in snowy climates know exactly what I'm going to say. If you don't wear the right shoes, you're going to go falling down. You're going to bust your keister and maybe something else. So you have to be really thoughtful. The last time I actually lived in snow, the Schnee, auf Deutsch, was when I was in Baumholder, Germany. He was an army chaplain. And we didn't get a lot of snow. We got some. And we'd get a good snowstorm, and then it kind of would burn off, and then another one would come in. At least the part of Germany I was in, the southern part. So it was kind of like you could get a nice taste of it, and it would, linger for a while, but then eventually it would all melt off, and then another storm would come in. But here, and kind of like, in the more northern regions in the Midwest, Minnesota and Michigan and North Dakota, places like that, you just, once it starts snowing, you're buried for 6 months, maybe longer. This place was last year, it was. Scary thing was this church was just about literally covered in snow. We have pictures of it from last year. So I'm not looking forward to that. But as I started thinking about it, I was looking at the icicles today and I said, my gosh, these are just so beautiful. But yet, the real thing, because I was thinking, they had these icicle lights. They still have icicle lights. They have the how do you say it? When they call it, they call them icicle lights, but they're the little dangling wired things, which don't look anything like a real icicle. Oops. But again, it's kind of like an interpretation, a poetic, technological interpretation of icicles. And then there are some icicles, Christmas light ornaments that look just like a regular, real icicle. But there's no danger in them. They're not really, they might look like the real thing, but they're not the real thing. And the real thing always has an element of danger to it. And I think that's why, sometimes we might want to, experience the real thing, but we're also aware that it's not without a potential risk involved. And so, you could apply that understanding to all sorts of things in life. I mean, with every good thing, there usually comes a risk. And so, you can look at that with anything. Whether, let's say, a lot of times people will say, I really admire people who can go out and do certain things, and you admire that, and maybe you even secretly in your heart say, boy, I wish I could do that. The problem is that the moment you start to make a move towards maybe doing some of these things, you begin to realize that there's potential for maybe injury or accident, something you didn't intend. And then you go, wow, that really hurt. Or I got burned by doing that. Or I lost my rear end doing that, And sometimes it's a lot of times people, even myself included, we get afraid and we say, the risk is just too much. I don't want to deal with that. And so we settle for icicles that are little white wires with little lights on them, and we're content with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you put icicle lights on your house and you enjoy that, that's great. I did it every year at Chico, and we didn't get snow, but we got lots of rain. And, the lights would go on for maybe a few nights until we would get our winter rains, and then they would start shorting out. Some of you may remember from those videos last year. So, it's just something I just kind of observed today, and I thought it was something worthwhile sharing, is that, the closer you get to real nature, you get closer to certainly you get like right up close to the real thing, the genuine article, but there's a risk involved. And so, I think that, unfortunately, in our world today, we want to kind of live prophylactically, We really don't want to experience real life, We want everything to be kind of artificial. Because, it's like real mashed potatoes. We were having a little talk at our Thanksgiving dinner last night, and one of our tribe we were kind of giving him a hard time. Although I have to say he because he's a lawyer, he turned it around and kind of like he got the better of all of us. But he was like his wife I think used to make for some reason she didn't do it this year, but she always made truly homemade mashed potatoes. They're to die for. And for some reason, they couldn't do it this year, so he went out and got the stuff from the packages. And so he gave us this whole step-by-step of how really time-consuming and how much effort and how much dedication he put into microwaving each of those little trays of mashed potatoes. you know. And so we settled for that, and they were okay. I mean, I had seconds. But they weren't the real thing, and you can always tell. But the real thing, you gotta get the mashed potato, the real potatoes. You gotta peel them. You gotta, quarter them. You gotta cook them up. You gotta, then you gotta mash them and all that stuff. But it requires an effort. It requires a kind of a commitment to do something, and to kind of experience part of the drudgery of having to do that. It's like, this isn't any fun. But the end result is quite enjoyable. And I kind of think that's just the way it is with real life, being up here I've had to learn that there are just certain things that you can't take for granted. I mean, the winter will kill you if you don't treat it with respect. And I learned that almost the hard way yesterday. Everybody has given me information on how to successfully negotiate the winter this year. I've taken their advice. I've got the long johns. I got the special shoes. I got the special cleats for your other shoes. I got a winter bag just in case my car gets stuck. They close the roads and I can't go backwards or forwards. I'm stuck. Now, I might be stuck for 4 or 5 hours maybe longer. And so I got food and water and a blanket and a flashlight and survival stuff. So, the thing is, you got to take it seriously. But yesterday I thought, well, okay, I have these special cleats which are just great. You put them on your shoes, and you can walk, with a lot more confidence, knowing you're probably not going to slip and bust your keister or something else. So, pulling the old truck out of the garage yesterday, and I'm grateful. It's the first time in my life that I've actually had a garage to put a vehicle in, and if I had to wait all this time to finally get a garage, well, I'm grateful because now I need it. I truly need it. So anyway, the truck comes out nice and pretty much warm and no snow and no ice on the windshield. It's great. But again, somebody said, you want to make sure that you get that truck in the garage before the snow really starts. Because you don't want to have to dig yourself out. That's one thing you just don't want to have to do on a cold winter morning. And the first morning after this snow started, I was so grateful that I had a clean, dry truck. And I just had to pull it out. And then I had to worry about then driving and negotiating how to drive on, wintry roads. But anyway, so yesterday, I was telling everybody, I got everything and I'm doing everything you're telling me to do. And so I was pulling the truck out and I went down through the garage, so I didn't go outside, and I didn't have my little winter cleats on. And I said, well, I'm only going to, because I have to put the mirrors in, because I do have to do that. I said, well, I'm just going to get out, and before I load up the truck, I'll just quickly unfold the mirrors, and then I'll go in and put my cleats on and get my stuff. And I just about fell and busted my butt. I mean, I caught myself just before I went down hard. I mean, fortunately, I caught myself, but I thought, I'm only going to take a couple of steps, and that's all it takes. It only takes one step to slip. So I said, okay, lesson learned. So I went back in, and the first thing I did was put on my shoes with my cleats on. Then I went back out, and then I started loading the truck and taking care of business. No problems. So again, it's a different way of looking at things, dealing with things, living with things. So anyway, I just thought I'd get on here and quickly share a pipe with you all, and wish you a very happy belated Thanksgiving. And I hope that all of those of you who celebrate the wonderful holy season of Advent will maybe have a blessed and holy and peaceful Advent. There's a lot of nice little lessons that we learn in Advent, and I'm kind of thinking of folding in some of the things I'm just sharing even here in my little first week of Advent homily. So there you go. So again, thanks for taking time out of your busy day and weekend, and thanks for listening to the old Holy Smoking Pipe Padre. And as I like to say, light up your world, light up your pipe, and have a great evening. We'll see you soon.